to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Smith? Ms. Selcha?
Here.
Mr. Lindemann?
Here.
Mr. Ramos? Mr. Bering?
Here, and both Mr. Smith and Mr. Ramos are excused. Item 1D, members of the board, board meeting minutes not previously approved, especially May 6, 2025. Mr. Lindemann.
I move to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
We're not going to have any trouble distinguishing that tonight, are we?
No, I hope not.
Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Selcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Bering?
Yes, item E, information only, summary of current events. Ms. Samaniego.
Yes, good evening, Mr. President, board members, and members of the staff and community. This weekend on Saturday, I participated as a judge in the Skills and HOSA USA practice competition that they had at DHS, and Dr. Jackie Clay joined us. Several community members that are advocates of CTE classes, and so we judged many competitions from students and many presentations. So it was enlightening to see all the different proposals that they have, and this was just practice for them. We provided feedback. So that was an all-day event on Saturday. DHS also had a winter formal, if I may say, the same night. Not a whole lot of kids attended, but the kids that did had a really good time. And so Ms. Trinta and Mr. Young spent a lot of their day, all night, Saturday. And we had, it was a great turnout. We also had, we have the spelling bee coming up on the 20th, I believe. 22nd. And so that's going to be taking place at our schools. I also want to inform the board just a little bit of what we're doing internally with looking at our budget for next year. And so all of our site admin are looking at budget reduction proposals. No decisions have been made yet. They're looking at their positions. They're looking at, M&O cost, and they have to submit something to me by the 23rd. Internally here at district level, we are, we've met, we're working on our plans, and possibly what restructuring model we can present to the board at a later date. So once I have a clearer picture, we will be setting up a work study session so that we can just have discussions about, without any actions being taken, and get feedback from the board and input from, the staff if you choose to provide input. And then we will be presenting something more formally, but we are working hard, diligently. And my goal is to always be cautious of our financial status, our enrollment situation, but at the same token, being very aware of the responsibility that this district has to staff, to number one, to our students and our staff, and without compromising and putting this district in a situation where we would do more harm than good by making any potential cuts that we may need to. And so that is always on the back of my mind, is whatever I recommend and whatever we discuss, is that going to be in the best interest of the district and not put us in any situation that we don't want to be in, without also compromising student services and student education. Okay, so we're working, we're planning, and we're going to be looking at several different pieces that I have been directed by you as a governing board. Our semester is well underway, and before you know it, today we were looking at testing calendars. And so the ASA testing window is right in the middle of our Easter break. And unfortunately, I know Mrs. Selcha's eyes just pop up, and because we know that the Easter break is a holiday that many of our parents choose to go out of town and maybe take a couple extra days. So we're going to, there's not much of an opportunity to move the testing because of the Easter break. So we're going to have to get in front of communication to our parents and saying, it's right in the middle of testing. And while there's going to be testing before, you have 2 days of break, but then we're testing right when we get back. And so that's going to be a challenge, but not that we can't inform our parents. So, and I also want to congratulate Sarib. He was accepted into Vanderbilt University with a full scholarship. And so I think that is super exciting because that's really where he wanted to go. And so I congratulate you. You've worked hard, and I see great things coming your way. So it's sad that your few months are going to be ending pretty soon. So, all right. Okay. And so that's as far as, and we do have a holiday Monday, so we don't work, and schools are going to be closed. I'm sure our staff is super excited about that. And my staff always has to remind me, you don't work on Monday, because I've been known to say, okay, on Monday we were going to have a meeting, and that doesn't work. Our GEM award for the month of, and we're always a month behind. We've had this teacher be nominated several times during this course of the school year. And the GEM Award this month goes to Miss Wendy Barra. She is our Joe Carlson preschool teacher, and she's been nominated several times. And so I'll read a few words. I'm proud to nominate Mrs. Wendy Barra for the Superintendent's GEM Award. She consistently demonstrates integrity, a positive attitude, and a spirit of excellence in all she does. She goes the extra mile every day, strengthening our DUSD family through her dedication to students, staff, and the community. Her professionalism, compassion, and unwavering commitment reflect the very mission, vision, and values of DUSD. She is truly an example of what it means to serve with heart and excellence, and I'm a testament to that because I visit her classrooms not every day or often, but when I do, I see the dynamics of being a preschool teacher, and she's had a great mentor sitting by her side, and so that's why she's here to support her. So congratulations, Miss Wendy Barra. And it's tough being a preschool kinder teacher with a lot of, diverse kids, right? And
It's wonderful. I found my purpose in life later in life, so I'm very happy.
Congratulations. So this is your GEM Award, and thank you for being extraordinary and going above and
Thank you.
beyond.
And thank you, everybody, for leading me this way, so thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Emily. Thank you.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Members of the board, Ms. Sal Chow, any report?
No, not tonight.
Mr. Lindeman?
And nothing this evening.
Under 2A, student activity report, Sarib, and you may have to break a tie here tonight because we're lacking 2 board members, so we may waive the rule and let you vote. I wish we could. I'm just kidding, of course. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Samaniego, members of the public. The activity report for DHS for January is as follows. So Douglas High School would like to congratulate the following students on their academic accomplishments. We have 2 Questbridge winners, Osmar La Madrid for Carleton College in Minnesota, and Cesar Romero for Emory University in Georgia. And then for Flint Scholarship, we have a semifinalist this year, Katia Hernandez. So we'd like we'd like to congratulate all of them. And then boys basketball won the Benson Holiday Classic, and the girls basketball team came in 2nd place. For the Tim Brown, we had quite a few people place. We had Maria Elena Corrales in 1st place, Samantha Magaña in 1st place, Alina Rodriguez 2nd place, Ingrid Perez 2nd place, Ivana Marino 2nd place, and Liana Rivera 3rd place. For the boys, we had Angel Armenta 2nd place, Luis Romo 2nd place, Carlos Nerillo 3rd place, Joseph Ramos 3rd place, Oscar Elias 3rd place, and Ryland Ramirez 3rd place. We also had the DHS Senior Night on the 7th, Dual Enrollment Parent Night on the 8th, DECA District Competition where we had, I think, 15 students medal. Coronation Dance on the 10th, Skills USA local championships, and then this week is the CTE showcase. It's also hoop coming this week, so we have a bonfire on Thursday, and so all of the games this week are with themes, and people are dressing up for the student section. We have the FFA burger fundraiser on the 17th, and a zealot testing starts on the 26th. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Let's expand a little bit on what was previously talked about by Ms. Samaniego, and congratulations to you also as well from the board. But as a member of this board, ex officio, you know, it's great to have a student, to be honest with you. And we're always very interested in knowing about their future and their success. So why don't you expound a little bit on what that Vanderbilt, is it a scholarship? What will you be doing? Why don't you take this time to tell the board about that a little bit, if you don't mind doing it?
No, I don't mind. So I applied originally for Questbridge, as many people here in Douglas have in the past. I didn't get past the first round, so then I had to apply separately directly to the school. And so I found out the last week of school, the last Wednesday of school in December, that I got accepted with a full ride.
And is that a scholarship as well?
Yeah, it's full ride, tuition, room, board, and everything's paid.
Do you know of any former Douglas students that ever attended Vanderbilt?
Not that I know of.
That's a very exclusive school, and academically, they're one of the best in the country. So, again, congratulations, well-deserved, and we're very happy for you. And, when you leave, and of course, hopefully not too soon, because we still have about 4 or 5 months, but keep us informed, let us know how you're doing. All right, we're extremely proud of you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Breen.
Moving on to the budget and travel, and Mr. Soto, go ahead and take as much time as you need to inform the board regarding what's happening, especially with a little bit of an outlook. It's a little bit early right now, I believe,
Right.
on revenues, but you have a little bit of a notification. I think you got, of course, you did officially from Chuck Essex on that memorandum he sent out. And so just so that the board knows, give us a little bit of an overview of what's going on.
Sure. First and foremost, thank you very much. Let's just take this out of the way, which is the report for the month and the figures. If you have any questions, please let me know on that. But as Mr. Brain said, it's kind of early to start talking about potential revenues. As you all know, the legislature started, it's about to start, I think it was yesterday, they started meeting. The bad thing, that's a good thing, but the bad thing is that there's not a lot of stuff in terms of more revenues for schools. I also know that the governor had her state of the state address, and same thing. I know she's pushing, she's fighting for school districts and funding and stuff like that. She wants to bring back the Prop 123 back to the voters to funnel more, funds to education. We know that most likely we're also going to get the 2% on increase on the per pupil allocation, as we have been getting for quite a few years. And again, this is a law that has been in place since 1981 or 82. And it hasn't been changed, which there's a lot of advocates fighting for that to be changed, but unfortunately we're not getting anywhere with that. So again, the only thing I can tell you right now is that there's going to be a 2% increase on the per pupil allocation. As Mrs. Samaniego mentioned before, we're working on the plan for next school year. Unfortunately, and I know Mrs. Cox is going to touch about on enrollment, but the good thing is that we're not declining a lot. It's been steady, but we're at 33 something. She's going to talk about that. Again, right now is too soon. There's a lot of variables still on the plate in terms of the plans for staffing. As you well know, 85 to 90% of the whole budget is staffing and benefits. Another thing on the plate, and something that we're started talking with our consultant, is health insurance. health insurance is a big issue. And again, the board approved to use different funds to pay for the plan we have right now. My projections is the approval was to use around $500,000 from those different funds to cover for health insurance. My projections is that we're probably not gonna use that much. I can give you a ballpark of 350,000 maybe that we're gonna utilize instead of the 500,000. But again, we're gonna start working on getting a request for proposal and RFP process that we're gonna have potentially different companies to bid on our health insurance. So we'll see. I'm hoping that we can still provide for our employees a good plan, but it's gonna have to be at a lower cost. So I'll keep you updated on that end. And I think that's all I have. Again, as soon as the legislature is still working, whenever there's something, educational related, then I'll keep you informed.
How long do you have to wait before you find out exactly what the percentage of governmental institutions have to actually pay for the health insurance that they provide, that benefit? How long are you gonna have to wait to find out what that is? When you come in on the RFPs with Gallagher, or?
Correct. They're helping out with the process. I don't have that percentage on top of my head. I don't remember that, but I mean, there's a minimum required for institutions like that to provide to our employees. As you all know, we've been providing for years for full coverage for our employees, but this past year, I mean, that's when we changed to the 90-10 scenario. But again, as soon as we start that process, I'll keep you informed on that percentage that we have to cover, at least for the employees.
Because, Mr. Soto, if I may, our conversations with our consultant is to bring something to the board by the March board meeting, and if they don't have let's say the company or the proposal by that first Tuesday, then I will be speaking to Mr. Bahrain and setting up a special meeting, because we need to bring that to the board as soon. But even prior to that, we will be updating the board in that whole RFP process and seeing what company came out with the best proposal that is in the best interest of our district financially and to our employees. And then through their consulting and our Mr. Soto's involvement and ours is finding out what is the cost to the district, financial impact for providing the different plans for the company that we feel is probably going to be, selected. And so I mentioned, I think at the December meeting, that we, one of the companies that I'm hoping that they put out a bid is, some type of a trust company like Asbate, who is, has several. Asbate is the trust insurance, and there are other companies out there that there's a group of organizations that are part of that, and that brings the cost down. So it all just depends on who bids for the RFP. Then we review and we vote as a committee on their services, the cost, the impact to the district and to the employee, and then we make a recommendation, to the board based on that. But there's going to be a lot of involvement with the board.
Other than sustaining the encumbrances we have with salary through the year or next year, the insurance is the next biggest
Correct.
Expense.
Correct.
And unfortunately, and the board's well aware that with the circumstances that we're faced with right now, that unfortunately we can't even talk about any type of an increase in salary. I mean, that's academic. I mean, that goes without saying. But the thing that we need to be concerned about is that we still need to do what we can as far as whatever, even if it's minimal, some type of a benefit and some type of relief to the employee on the insurance. And that's going to be the big issue, is to what the cost is gonna be. And I know the expectation, board members, is we know that with everything that's swirling around nationally, that the insurance is gonna go up. We know that. It's gone up privately, immensely. And, but that's one thing that's important, and we know you're keeping on top of it, but we want to do whatever we can within certain parameters, right, regarding whatever we can do for the employee, because unfortunately, we're looking at a situation where this district was 10, 15 years ago, where there was and I hate to keep using the word, where there was a huge drought as far as salaries are concerned, and that's depressing to know that. And what you're doing as far as that budget is concerned now, to actually, and I'm gonna talk about it because people have asked me, taking a very severe measure and looking at closing the school. Because when you close the school, then you lump everything together, and that, although it seems like it's the most appropriate thing to do, we have to look at what it does to students as far as attendance is concerned and the displacement, and how it affects parents and their schedules and so on. So I do want to say that because the conversation is, and it's well out there, that I get asked a lot about closing a school, and that's not on the table right now. This board hasn't said anything about closing a school. That's the last, and that's what happens at the school districts when you're not proactive and you wait till the last second. Then the only measure to take is to shut a school down, and that's when you have the problems. So we appreciate what you're doing, and then we're going to hear from Denise now, unless you're done,
Yeah, no, I'm
Mr.
done.
Soto.
Yes.
Hopefully regarding the enrollment, and I think it was, you did mention that it's kind of static right now, and hopefully it stays that way. But, well, first of all, board members, do you have any questions or comments of Mr. Soto before we get off of that? Go ahead.
I do, if I may. That was one of my questions, are we gonna research the ASBATE, or do they normally bid on these processes, or do we have to invite them, or?
The RFP process, it's open to whoever wants to participate on the bid. There's some other ones that they already know that, and especially in our situation, because we're a rural district and the coverage and the services are limited and stuff like that. But we always have that option with the ASBATE, and they're part of the bigger group of districts, and it's offered by that. Most likely, I'm pretty sure they will be submitting a bid.
Okay, I historically, I thought that we had ASBATE at
Yes,
one point.
many years ago we did.
Yeah, the other also thing I thought I had was, weren't we self-insured at one time historically?
I don't know, Mr. Lindeman.
That I don't know either.
Well, that
I
might be
remember.
going ways back. Now I feel old. No, but that's good, if we can get more people to bid on that.
Right, and that's one of the recommendations from the consultant, saying that with a company like ASBATE, where you have a group of districts, well, sometimes it can be a bad thing, sometimes it can be a good thing because of the utilization of services, right? Right now, it's just based on basically just us. And that's why they were saying, if you remember, the only reason why we didn't go a lot higher than what we did is because we had an agreement, a lock rate of at least 9%, and that's what we went up. But they were thinking it was going to go up to 40%, and I think that's what they're looking at this coming year. And there's a reason why we're, trying to get ahead of the game and start the process now.
Okay, thank you.
Just
hold on.
quickly, Ms.
Oh, that's okay.
Haven't we heard, of course, it's a completely different environment now, but we've known in prior years what the insurance was gonna be, but because of the circumstances, is that why we're
Yeah,
having to wait?
Well,
till
because
March? Okay,
we're at the renewal stage, that's why we
Correct.
don't know.
Yeah,
what
because you're doing the
insurance rates-
RFPs. All right, I'm sorry, Michelle.
Considering ASBATE, and I mean, that's just, we're just throwing things out right now. Would that possibly mean less coverage for our employees, or would it be about the same? Are we looking at that type of thing?
We don't know that yet. Again, that changed, and one of the reasons why we moved away from them was because of that, because of the coverage. There wasn't a lot of doctors in the area and things like that. And the cost, obviously. Now, I'm hoping, I believe that there's more coverage, that there's more doctors in the area that can take that insurance. I cannot tell you what ASBATE is using now. I don't know if it's
Right.
Aetna
Aetna,
or
I-
Cigna or one of those other
I
companies.
think they're using Aetna, just from talking to Nogales Unified School District. And so no, we don't know what the coverage, because we will know when we go through the RFP and they bid, and then the bid closes, the bidding period closes, and then we are given a packet and said, okay, you have 5 companies that have bid, and here are their proposals. And then that's when we go through line by line, you know, where from copay to hospital stays to what is covered, prescription, what are they able to offer, and what is the cost to the employee and to the district. So we'll go through that line by line for every company that bids, and
Well-
then we'll know.
I know that for when I was employed by the district and we were using ASBATE, we used Cigna at that time. So,
Yeah.
and I don't remember anything being less for our employees. I mean, I think the coverage was decent. But that's, I mean, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make people
Yeah.
go, oh, we're going that way. No.
No.
But just,
We
it's
don't
an,
know.
it's a, something on, that's considered.
Okay, are we done with that, Mr. Lindeman? You have anything else, Ms. Selcha? All right, we know that that's really consuming a lot of your time, and we know you're on top of it, and we know that all of the responsibilities and all those things that go with it, and I know it's weighing heavily on all of you. Let's move to the personnel and the student enrollment.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, Board, and colleagues. Our ADM, okay, so our total enrollment is at 3,505, okay, which includes preschool. Our ADM, which is where we get funded, is at 3,305. So as Mr. Soto said, we're holding steady at 3,300, getting really close to dipping below that, which is scary because I don't think I've seen an ADM at 3,200 ever. And so we're holding steady, but we're still declining. So we had 20 withdrawals in December and 11 enrollments. So we're still losing more students than we're gaining. So 6 of those students went to online. We had 2 long-term students that were long-termed, 5 10-day drops, 4 that moved, 2 for other reasons they had to leave, and 1 that went to Loretto. Okay. And so then, in terms of HR, we still have 2 elementary positions that are unfilled, 2 middle school positions that are unfilled, and 1 high school position that just became open not too long ago.
Have members of the board any questions regarding that? Where are you on athletic trainer?
No applicants.
You know, any athletic event, AIA states that you gotta have people, or, we've been covering with the fire department, right?
Yes.
But, you know, I have to just be honest with you, they haven't been there for the last 3 events I've been to. And at 2 of those, there were injuries, thank God there was nothing severe. But, first and foremost, the safety and the well-being of the athlete, the student, is always paramount, right?
Yes.
But Maria, how come there hasn't been any people covering from the fire department? At least we've got the minimal, if you want to call it that, coverage that would shield the district if there was any problem. But are they aware that, aren't they, I don't, I see they're budgeted for. The money's in the budget, I see that, but why don't we have that coverage there in the best interest of the student?
Good evening. I will follow up with the fire department. Yes, they come as needed. We have Joey as well, that is an EMT certified for our school. He has been there on and off. He's been helping around. He's one of our CTE teachers, and he's certified as well. For example, one incident that happened last week with wrestling, he was there. He was able to, give the first aid to the kid, and we called the ambulance as needed at that moment.
But when you initially started talking to them, they were amenable to doing that, right?
Yes.
And like it wasn't something that they'd be inconvenienced for.
No.
They're being paid for it. I just, it's just something I'm concerned about it.
Okay.
Every time you see some kid fall and you start thinking, oh my God, I hope it's nothing severe, because we don't have anybody there. And I mean, it's blatant. People can see it. There's nobody there. And I know you're doing the best you can, and I don't mean to be critical of you. I'm just trying to get a little bit of information regarding, maybe you need to talk to them or renegotiate with them or whatever, but we've got to have coverage there, I
Yes.
think. I don't know. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely. So, I mean, and we don't know without speaking to them and, do things come up
Follow
that
up.
they don't,
Yeah.
because they have our schedules.
Yes.
And so probably a conversation with them and a reminder that we have these games and maybe a weekly communication with
Yes.
them and say, hey, we have 3 games, are you gonna be able to make it? And some kind of communication on their part too, and say, hey, I can't send anybody because we have a,
Yes.
God forbid,
absolutely.
fire in Douglas and I need all my, people over there. But
Absolutely. Yes.
please reach out. Okay.
Okay, and just quickly while you're up there, are you done? Quickly while you're up there, it's a budgetary concern as well. Well, it costs money. And so that's how I'm gonna sneak it in. I think Mr. Soto has talked to you about the parking lot across from the gymnasium, the darkness, that's the biggest parking area we have for basketball games, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
wrestling or whatever, but generally wrestling doesn't go into the evening. Sometimes it does. But the lighting there is,
Minimal. Really minimal.
I really think that it's really, really a serious issue that we don't have any lighting there. It's very dark there. And then the other thing too is when our kids come home and they leave their cars there when they travel, and they get back at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. I understand last week they didn't get back till 6 o'clock in the
5
morning.
in the morning, yes.
Because they had a breakdown, and of course you worked that down
Yes.
out with them, but.
Yes.
But are you in the throes of looking at that and talking to Mr. Soto about maybe talking to the city? Something's gotta be done about that, all right? And that's it. You don't need to respond. I
And
know
we
you're
can
aware
get
of
into
it.
the conversations with the city, because ultimately that is the land from the city. Our coaches doesn't leave until the last kid is gone, so we ensure that the kids are safe.
Okay.
Same for practices, our coaches doesn't, leave the premises until the last kid is gone.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank
Glad
you.
you're
I have a
here.
question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the parking,
Yeah, go ahead.
I noticed last night that it was roped off, like across the street from the gym in that area by
Yes.
the Little League field. It was totally,
We have the
Yeah,
pep
roped
rally.
off.
We
What-
have, the bonfire is happening Thursday, so that's why it's on the
Okay.
works. Yes,
because my family and I were like,
yeah, the bonfire. That's why they're in preparation for that on
No
Thursday.
Okay, and you brought that up to the board during the budget presentation because it costs money, and I want to make sure we sneak that in there, okay?
All right,
All right,
thank you.
very much,
Thank you.
Lydia. All right, Denise, are you done?
Yes.
Members of the board, any questions for Denise?
just very quickly, Denise, you said that we were at 300 and, for ADM money, 3,305. What were we just remind me, what were we last month?
3,309, I think it was.
Okay, just really close.
And last year, we were at 3,392, last year.
Okay.
At this time.
Thank you.
Mr. Lindeman, do you have any questions for
No,
HR?
that's fine.
We have anybody, thank you, Denise. Do anybody wants to address the board?
No, sir.
Item 2A, approval of the following consent agenda items. Number 1, payroll and expense vouchers, A, B, and C. Mr. Lindeman.
I move to approve the expense vouchers.
Is there a second?
Second?
By Ms. Selchow. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item 3, discussion action on the approval of certified hire. A, Ms. Samaniego.
As presented, a substitute teacher for the role, the list of subs that we can call.
Mr. Lindeman,
Move to approve the certified hire.
second
Second.
by Ms. Salchow. Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item B, discussion action on approval of classified hires. Ms. Samaniego.
We have 3 ESSIAs due to services needed, and these are all vacancies that we've had. An instructional aide at Paul Huber and a parent liaison at Sarah Marley that has been vacant for for a long time. And so as presented.
Move to approve the certified hires.
Second.
Second.
Classified, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Classified,
Go
just
ahead.
classified.
Sorry, classified hires.
All right.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item C, discussion action on approval of certified resignation. Ms. Samaniego.
Mrs. Sophie Ronell is submitting her resignation end of this school year. If you recall, she was under ESI as a teacher for this year and has decided to do something else with her life, and we want to thank her for the many years that she provided excellent teaching to our students who were learning French. It's going to be very difficult to replace and find a candidate, which may impact Douglas High School being able to offer that if we don't find a candidate. So we want to wish her well and sad to see her leave.
For discussion, let's get a motion on the
I
floor.
move to approve the certified resignation.
Second,
I second.
Ms. Salchow. Thank you for that second. You beat Sadeeb to it. You know, this is concerning on that as well of having positions that are hard to get. How many, I don't know, Maria or Blanca or Albert, how many teachers are actually in the foreign language department? There's one French, how many Spanish? 4? Are those, Blanca, are you the one that's, Bianca, are you the one that's gonna, are those 4 Spanish classes well attended, the enrollment in them?
Governing board members, Ms. Samaniego. Yes, they are. We currently have a 2-year foreign language graduation requirement. So all of our students go through the foreign language program, whether it be through the Spanish or through the French.
Are the French classes well attended?
Yes, they are.
The enrollment is good. So somebody like Sadeeb, who speaks Spanish fluently, and he would opt to take, I'm not gonna speak for you, you'd opt to take French, right? Did you take Spanish at all? No, I took French. Did you, for 4 years? All right, so that is an extremely valuable position to have for, especially for students like him. And I'm not derogating all the other students because they don't have the high grade point average and they're not Sadeeb and all that stuff. But you've got to have, and I think you know this, in preaching to the choir, but you have to have classes like French so that their foreign language requirement is advantageous to them when they leave.
Yes.
And I think you understand that.
Yes,
So-
and also I do believe that our Spanish program really focuses on more of a technical, we have our speakers and non-speaker version, and they do focus on the technical writing and the formal communication as well. So even our students who are fluent in Spanish are still also challenged through our Spanish courses as well.
Okay, so you do have a high enrollment in French for 4 years for students to start as freshmen and go all the way through go either one of you. Go ahead, Bianca. Go
Yes,
ahead.
so it's only a 2-year requirement, so that 3rd year is more optional for the students. So Ms. Renaud does a combined pre-AP, AP French course, so she teaches an advanced placement French as well, and her students are very successful through that advanced placement course in addition to, so although it has 4 years, 4 levels, it's a combined 3rd year, 4th year class where the students are combined together in the same room.
Okay, so the
Because
bottom line
unfortunately,
is
it's one Sophie, and so the ability of being able to offer all those 4 levels spread out is a little bit more challenging.
So the foreign language program at the high school is very successful, right?
Yes.
And we want to make sure that it stays that way, and thanks, Bianca, for that
Yes,
information.
both the English and the Spanish.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Don't go anywhere.
All right, anything you want to add to that? Go ahead.
Mrs.
Go ahead.
Mrs.
No,
Salcha has
don't go
a
I'm
comment.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay, about 12 years ago, the ELL requirements for students that were non-proficient meant that they could not take Spanish if they were Spanish speakers naturally, or their home language was. Is that still in case? And do they take French, or what's provided for
They-
our non-proficient?
They can take Spanish now, especially with the 2-year
Okay.
requirement, so they are enrolled because they still need that for the graduation requirement.
Okay, so they have
So-
amended that, so it's
Yes.
not as,
Yes.
yeah, ugly as it used to be.
No.
Okay, and just a comment about Ms. Renault. I miss her terribly. She's done an amazing job.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hold on, Mitch, do you have any questions?
Well, I just wanted to say that Dr. Renault is a wonderful teacher, and
Mm.
my two daughters have really enjoyed her classes, and it's going to be sad to see her go, but on the other hand, congratulations on her wonderful career. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, I do want to say this. Any opportunity I've ever gotten, I've commented about it, even someplace else. Douglas is very unique. You know, we're a bilingual, bicultural community, and the fact that the majority of our students speak a second language. Unfortunately, a lot of parents at home don't buy into that. They think that, you're living in the United States. I used to hear that all the time. We speak English at home. But what a tremendous advantage going through this school district and having a binary education as it relates to Spanish and then, of course, for the other students that take French. But I think when we send our kids off, can you imagine that our elementary schools are clinical as far as exposure to the Spanish language, whether it's casual or informal at that level, but they get a tremendous background, and then when they refine it when they get to the high school, that Douglas is great. Nogales is the same. We put out these kids that are bilingual, and I think it's something that the Douglas schools offer, and it's something that we can say that we do, that, our kids, when they graduate, 99% of them are bilingual, except for those parents that don't want them to speak it at home. And of course, that's just a editorial comment. Thanks, Bianca.
Well, and I also think it
Go ahead.
creates a more marketable, educated professional. And I think as students leave and venture out into the professional world, they look back and see the value of that multilingual aspect of their education. I mean, even I can say that for my own 2 students who aren't, necessarily fluent, but it has definitely been valuable to them as they seek their professional lives, my own students, my own children, so.
Thank you for that insight. That's great.
And then
Go ahead.
along what Mr. Hernandez said, my own children, this is with my daughter in the agricultural business world, being able to speak Spanish and almost fluent through the Douglas Unified School District has been a tremendous advantage in her job, her
So
career.
It's a valuable asset.
Any, Mr. Linneman?
No, that's wonderful, and I applaud everyone that can do that. That's my handicap, so I always hope I will get better. Thank you.
And rules are rules, right? And open enrollment, we have policies. I had a son that I wanted to send to Sarah Marley years ago, and I spoke to the principal, and she said, "Well, you got to go through the open enrollment." And I said, "Fine, I will." And we did, much to the chagrin of my wife. She thought it was a bad idea, but I wanted him down there at Sarah Marley, and that's when they had the bilingual educational program down there, bilingual bicultural, excuse me. And when the time came, she turned me down. And I called her into my office. I said, I'm not asking for, it's always a disclaimer. I'm not asking for any special favors. I just want him down there. I want him exposed. She said, no. She said, you can take it to the board if you want. I was the superintendent. And to tell you, And I told her, nobody's knocking the door down to come out. She said, you don't live in my area. So anyway, thanks, Bianca, for that. I had to mention that on a personal note. But that principal was, she went by the book and she was tough, and I should have appealed it. But anyway, we have a motion on the floor.
Yes, sir.
After all that, roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item D, discussion action on the approval of classified resignations and retirements. Samaniego.
I have several resignations, different dates, and then one retirement effective at the end of second semester, so December of 2026, of Mr. Chuy Duarte. Then I think that is it. So 5 resignations and 1 retirement as presented.
Let's get a motion on the floor.
I move to approve the classified resignations and retirement.
I second.
The background information on that is always very good. There was one that was, one of the resignations was concerning, I'm sure, you know, the language in some of the citations in there, but you people, of course, you address those and look at those kinds of things. But always, the background is always very good on those, and we appreciate that. Any discussion, members of the board? Janet?
No.
Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item E, discussion action on the approval of the student observers, Ms. Samaniego.
Okay, so we are, just one, actually, there's 3 student observers, and they're just completing, as part of their educational courses, to observe some classes at our district.
Mr. Lindemann,
Move to approve the student observers.
second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item F, discussion action on the approval of athletic hire, Ms. Samaniego.
We have one, and that's for Paul Huber Middle School, girls soccer assistant coach. And you have the
Mr.
background.
Lindemann,
Move to approve the athletic hire.
second.
Second.
You know, some of these assistants and volunteers are getting, are very, very well qualified, and it's good to see that they're gonna bring a lot of good knowledge and experience to the district. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item G, discussion action on the approval of volunteers, Ms. Samaniego.
There are 3 volunteers, 2 for RBMS and 1 for DHS wrestling, so as presented, and they're all under ratification.
Mr. Lindemann?
Move to approve the volunteers.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item H, discussion action on the approval of donations received for the Douglas Unified School District Number 27, Ms. Samaniego.
We have 3 separate donations, one from the Douglas Mojave unit to Douglas High School boys basketball in the amount of $1,885.78. Donation to Ferris Elementary from the CPR schools training for, it's a training kit, $725. And then a couple donors choose that go to Sarah Marley 5th grade class, Miss Anissa Morales, and class in 1st grade. And you've got the amounts there.
Mr. Lindemann,
Move to approve the donations.
Second.
discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item I.
And
I'm
yes,
sorry.
I is just the donations or the gifts received. That's it. As presented.
Oh, next item.
Aye. Sorry, Mr. Breen, I jumped the gun.
That's all right.
It's,
Move
I'm
to
gonna nudge
approve
you.
item I.
you're on item I.
Item I, discussion action on the approval of gifts received for Douglas Unified School District Number 27 and designating Superintendent Samaniego to determine the use of the gifts. Ms. Samaniego.
So you've got 3 different gifts that have been received, a utility wagon, school nurse supply kit, and a Yeti Rambler.
Mr. Lindemann,
Move to approve.
second.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Samaniego, any preferences on any of that?
No.
Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Aye. Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item J, discussion action on the approval of waiving the requirement of a second classroom observation for the 25-26 school year pursuant to ARS 15-531 subsection G. Ms. Samaniego.
You have the state policy, the policy GCO, and this is the list submitted by school principals. And the governing board may waive the requirement for the second classroom observation for continuing teachers. So anybody that's 3 years in the district whose teaching performance, based as evidenced on their first formal observation, places them in either the two highest classifications, so highly effective or effective. The two schools that are not on here, that you won't see any of their teachers, are Sarah Marley and Ray Berrain. They are participating in one of the ADE school improvement programs called Project Momentum. And because of that work that they're doing, the teachers are going to receive the second, regardless if they're highly effective or effective. And so you have a list of 94 teachers who are being recommended.
For discussion, Mr. Lindeman.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
By Ms. Salchow. I know that the board has had questions regarding this off and on, and the validity of the instruments used for, and it goes on and on. My interest would be could we have Radna give a little bit of an overview on what is exactly the program that she does that enables or that disregards the second evaluation? Is
Well,
it
it's,
okay if we have her?
no, yes, and she can talk about Project Momentum and what you're doing. And it's not that Project Momentum says you cannot have any, but because of the work that they're doing and hoping to improve student outcomes, Mrs. La Madrid and Mrs. Pineda have chosen as school leaders to still evaluate their teachers for a second go-around because they are working on the work to improve student outcomes. But Project Momentum does not dictate that they forgo the second.
No, I understand that.
But
It's
she can-
optional to them,
It's
right?
optional, yes. uh-huh.
Just quickly, do you see, well, I don't know if you want to take the time. Board members, would you want to hear whether there's any positive outcomes or if they see any significant improvement or any of those kinds of things? Because the board, especially one of the board members isn't here tonight, has raised a lot of questions regarding that. And if you forego the second reading and you do that program, it's always good to know that, the waiving and the program vis-a-vis what, what the positive are. Do you want to comment a little bit on that?
And while she comes up and gives it a little overview of what Project Momentum is and the work that they're doing, their decision also resonates with number one, Sarah Marley. Mrs. Pineda is a new principal at that site. So she is just learning her staff, learning, the principal role. And Sarah Marley was a D school, who now is a C school. So based on mainly letter grades and the progress that they're making, and being a first-year principal who's getting to know the school, that's a little bit background on Sarah Marley. While Ray Berrain has gone from a D to a C, state to a C, B back to a C, and so your decision is also on, letter grades and what you've done.
It's based on letter grades. It's also based on the work that we're doing. For me, it's just one snapshot that the teachers get for the first evaluation. We do, and our teachers are in agreement, we do a second evaluation because you do see a growth in the teachers and in their abilities. When we make our recommendations as administration, based on our evaluation, things that we saw and things that could possibly, a lot of our teachers are like between either effective or highly effective from what we observe. They then have actionable goals that then they put forward and work throughout the year, so that when the second evaluation comes around, and we don't just wait to do our walkthroughs, and administration can attest to that. We have to give a minimum of 2 walkthroughs before doing the formal observation. So for us, because we are under school improvement, though we are still a C school, like I mentioned prior, we have seen growth. We do see the growth. We're just not meeting the proficient level. And to us, as teachers and as a school, we kind of it is a little bit frustrating, but our school improvement is under for ESS, our SPED students. So we have done a lot of shifts. This year, the CFAs or the ACEs that they do every week, diving deeper into our data and so forth. So this second evaluation is kind of a culmination of the goals that we set up every quarter, that we meet with not only our school improvement specialists, but that we meet with our grade level teams, meet with our content level teams to see how we can improve. I'll give you an example. We have AES, which is our consultants that come in and helping us in the area of ELA and math. And we're able to pay with our math through our title money, but we were able to bring in AES through Project Momentum, through the funding we got through Project Momentum, to now push that training with our teachers. And what it is we set up goals, and we have our school improvement specialist that makes recommendations. So when she comes down, she too goes in the classrooms. She'll be coming on Thursday, as a matter of fact, and this particular visit is we're actually going in the classrooms and seeing what our SPED IAs are doing, and then she comes back and gives us possible recommendations, like, I wonder, I noticed that. So we have second set of eyes coming in to kind of give us recommendations, and she's there as a support. So that's all Project Momentum is. They're just supporting us so that we can make improvement and gains. And I've learned quite a bit with Project Momentum and our school improvement specialist, where I've delved into data much more this year, and I feel much more, I guess, proficient or knowledgeable when it comes to the data, but working with the teachers. So I've always done second evaluations because as a teacher myself, as you know, former educator, it's a hit and miss sometimes with your evaluation. Might have been a bad day but I always like constructive feedback. Mm-hmm. And us as administrators, we have a pre, a mid, and a post evaluation. So when I sit down with HR, or I sit down with whichever district administrator is doing my evaluation, they give me recommendations on how I can improve or what they see. So I just feel it's important for my teachers to be able to have that same opportunity to have that improvement and continue to grow as educators. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, that's a great overview. Ms. Alchow, any questions?
I just say that I admire, even before you really got really into Project Momentum, was that you continued to do a second evaluation on your teachers or with your teachers. It's not just having it on them, it's working with them. And it's that meaningful conversation and, like you said, making goals and pointing out the things that are working and looking for ideas on what's not, because not everything works in our classrooms. We're not perfect.
Mr. Lindeman?
Well, I just want to say, from my experience, evaluations are ongoing, never-ending. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, there it is. And then, and I would like to have the magic key to motivate students. And, some days are, like Mrs. Alchow says, better than others. You know, and some students are motivated more on Mondays, for example, or, it's the whole gamut. But thank you for all you do.
Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, and just
ahead.
kind of going off what Mitch said, having been on the evaluation committee and having been evaluated year after year, after year, after year, for 31 years, one thing that I always wanted somebody to come in and give me more of an informal, then make that my evaluation, because I could give them a dog and pony show. I could make it beautiful.
And those
But that didn't mean
walkthroughs-
that happened
And those
every
walkthroughs
day.
that
was just
walkthroughs that we
special.
do come in and do, that we kind of get a bird's eye
Right.
view of what's going on, because those walkthroughs are not scheduled. We just come in and do those walkthroughs.
And those extra eyes, I think, are really important. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Lindeman?
I'm good.
Anything you want to add regarding that?
No, it's 94 teachers, and like I said, we follow the Danielson evaluation tool, and our admin, are very well trained and know that when they see something that may be of a concern and maybe having to do a second evaluation, I trust that they are doing that very same thing. So, I don't know, Ms. Pineda, did you want to say something about Project Momentum?
Yes, I would like to add. So we do work with Project Momentum bi-weekly, and everything is their recommendations. And it does help to have another set of eyes from other leadership team. And when we do walkthroughs, yes, they are, they're not scheduled and they're very informal. So it helps us give feedback not only to teachers, but also to the support staff and the entire school as a whole. So it's helping with student growth as a collective team. So it's in collaboration with not just teachers, but also in how support staff can also help teachers in the classroom and assist with students during the instructional time as well.
Especially at your school, is the uniqueness of the student population in your personal evaluation, is that taken into consideration, the teachers' background, and you know what I'm getting at, right? Do you take all of that in, especially at that school, because of that?
Yes, so we set up quarterly goals, and the quarterly goals are set up as a school, not by the administrator. So again, it's as a team, so it's collective. So every Monday, I meet with teachers during PLCs, and we work on the goals. And then throughout the week, we've been doing instructional rounds as well, so that they can also learn from each other, but also the support staff. So that way, the support staff is also cross-trained in different grade levels, so that they're able to assist as needed in other grade levels.
Are all
and in
your
other
teachers
areas.
bilingual?
Yes.
Anything else, any answers, thoughts, members of the board? Denise, as HR, do you want to add anything regarding the evaluation at all? Because I know you're the first line in the central office on that.
So no, you know, and it is at their discretion. So if administrators want to do a second evaluation on any of their teachers, then they can choose to do that. But the list was, you know, what the principal sent, so I think, you know, they followed the Danielson rubric and have done what they needed to do.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, thank you, Ms. Pineda, and
Okay.
thank you, Rodna.
Thank
It's kind of a go along with that. You're totally familiar, and of course, you've assured the board with the lawsuit that the esteemed state superintendent lost again in court regarding the dual language. We're not, just so that the board knows, we're not affected by that at all, right?
No, not at all. We're not at all.
Oh, okay. All right, have a motion?
Yes, sir.
Roll call.
Ms. Selcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item K, discussion action on the approval of the revision of the Douglas Unified School District number 27 classified salary schedule for fiscal year 2025, 2026. Mr. Soto.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, as we've been talking, and the minimum wage increase started in January to 15.15, I came to the realization that the only thing we needed to change was that first category. That was the only category that was under the $15.15, and we had it before at $14.90. So the percent what I'm presenting is just what we're going to be using for the remaining of the school year until June 30th. But again, the only change is that first category. I didn't want to collapse them or anything like that because I know I need to make an adjustment starting July 1st. And the goal is to, again, probably just leave the 15-15, but then affect all of the other categories starting July 1st. So there was no adjustment to any of the employees, so we didn't have to, come out with an additional expense or to increase the hourly rate for our classified employees.
Entertain a motion to approve that.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion, members of the board? Questions, comments regarding that? Roll call.
Ms. Selcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item L, discussion action on the approval to continue using Wells Fargo for the deposit of auxiliary and revolving fund. Mr. Soto.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, the recommendation is to approve Wells Fargo, and they have been our bank for many, many, many years. We don't have any issues, so as presented.
Mr. Lindeman.
Move to approve.
Second,
Second.
discussion.
I just had one quick question. Do they charge us for this service? Or do we have to pay a fee?
No, actually, for auxiliary and student activities, they, by law, they're not allowed to charge us fees. But they do charge us on the other ones. That's what they make their money. But, but no, not on these specific accounts, no.
Okay. I wonder if we can negotiate that.
We try, trust me.
The only one thing, if I may add, Mr. Bahrain said we've never had issues. It's not a issue so much more than it is a concern for us, is that our credit cards that we have with, and it's through Wells Fargo, right,
Correct.
Mr. Soto? We aren't a district the size of Mesa or Phoenix Union or TUSD, right? But we have a lot of children, and we're a mid-sized district that has a lot of travel expenses. And so the only limitation through Wells Fargo is the credit line that they offer us. And so, for example, we have 3 credit cards in the name of the district. With those 3 credit cards, one is under Mr. Soto's name, was under mine, and the other one is who's the other one? It's a third one, but we mainly use it for CTE because CTE in the high school has a lot of travel. And so between those 3 credit cards, the limit is $10,000 between 3 credit cards. So in booking, let's say, I'm just gonna use Skills USA trip. In booking Skills USA out of state, just in the airplane and maybe booking hotels, we may already be overusing one. And so we've attempted, and, you know, Mr. Young always comes and says, God, well, we talked to another district and they don't do the same process as Douglas, or they have a higher limits. And so I've talked to Mrs. Barcelo and Mr. Soto, and it's the bank that issues those limits. And so $15,000 when you're trying to run a school district and make these, expenditures on the card, does not have a lot of wiggle room for us to use a card. And so that is somewhat of an issue for us that we run into because the credit limit is not high, and it's not like we can't pay the bill. It's just between those 3 cards for the entire expenses in the district. And that's if we need to order something with the credit card and that's already used $3,000. So when a trip comes, we're trying to use the 3 cards and we run into, then we gotta go through the PO. And so it's got some challenges, and I don't know if it's what Wells Fargo has said when you've reached out, but we've tried to increase the limit.
Yeah,
So
and that's another,
something.
one thing that I'm looking at this year, because again, it's like every year, oh, well, maybe next year we're gonna look into it, maybe next year. So it's been a couple of years already that they've been saying that. Apparently they're working on a different program where we can be part of, where we can increase the credit cards. But, I mean, again, I'll keep pushing, I'll keep asking. And the sad thing is that we don't have another bank, big bank in town. As you remember, many years ago, we had Chase, and that was the one we used back then. But, yeah, I'll keep you updated on that. They say they're working on it, so hopefully we can
The
increase our
gas
limit.
cards are not with that,
No,
though.
that's
a different.
separate,
No,
that's
yeah,
just for
that's
gas,
different.
but
Yeah,
these are
okay.
just these 3 credit cards, and the total maximum we have is 10,000. And so it just complicates when we
And-
have these big DHS things that are happening, and we have other expenses that haven't, the credit card hasn't been paid for, so it's kind of adjusting and.
And
making-
Washington Federal won't do that.
No, because they're not as big as Wells Fargo in terms of that. We will have probably the same issue or
Okay.
worse.
No, just wondering. Thank you.
So that's a problem,
Ms.
of
Townsend?
practice.
I have no questions.
So how does it work when we see that there was a reimbursement made for, let's say you took a trip, you took some students, and then it said reimburse Mr. Soto $230 for meals, and then that wasn't previously put on the credit card when you made the reservations, the meals and all of
No.
the things?
No.
The
weren't all
incidentals.
encompassing?
No.
Because when you go to a conference, generally the registration fee covers everything, right? Well, so when you make that reimbursement, you don't use the revolving fund, do you?
No, once they come back from the trip, they bring their receipts, and we fill the travel form, and that's when it's determined, and then we just, reimburse them. We cut a check. We don't, if we have to, if it's something that it needs to be reimbursed right away, we use the revolving, but if not, we'll use just whatever account it's gonna come out of.
Okay, so, but it wasn't originally on the credit
No.
card?
No.
Okay, good. All right, anything else, members of the board? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item M, discussion action to approve the hearing officers and procedures pursuant to ARS 15-541 and 15-843. Ms. Samaniego?
It's the same list of officers that we presented, and according to the ARS 15541, we have to present at the beginning of the year and then again in January. So these are the 4 of us, and then any trust hearing that could do long-term suspension hearings.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second?
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes, item 4, announcements. Ms. Samaniego?
We have Martin Luther King holiday on Monday, so all of our district and schools are closed. The district spelling bee will be taking place on the 22nd of January, and then our next regular board meeting is on the 3rd.
Okay, so, based on all of that, that you heard today, Saeed, about schools and anything else, did you have any afterthoughts or comments you want to comment on about anything you heard? Because we talked a lot about the high school especially.
Just the issue with the credit card has always been.
Yes, and he knows about it because he is an officer.
You want one?
Yes.
Well, you should have a student body president. Miss Tinta will issue one from the high school. It'll be hers.
No, I will add, as part of my announcements, is that Sadeeb, I don't know where you're at, but he, based on the enrollment concerns and where a kid's going, he wanted to do a survey. And so I gave him some feedback. I know you're probably very busy, but he was going to do a survey at DHS about what keeps you here at maybe Douglas High School, getting some feedback from kids. So maybe we can complete that by February and get some feedback and, survey DHS students about, the school, the environment, what has helped them be successful and what keeps them as a DUSD student, so.
Well, maybe you'll be a little bit kinder than Nicole was, because she did one on the cell phones, and when I asked her, she when she finished, she said, and the students wanted to know, and she looked right at me. She said, "What idiot wanted to do that?" So I don't know if you guys remember that or not,
I
but
do.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
Aye.